bar for bar EP review. Sadistik, Delirium. Delirium is the 10th project from Seattle rapper Sadistik. Sadistik is a rapper whose subject matter tends to be darker than most. He often references horror movies and its elements, but uses them in a humanizing way to relate to the listener. Regarding this project, Sadistik said, "I know everybody is going through a lot right now, and I wanted to share this. Maybe it can be a soundtrack to the solitude, so at least we can be alone together." The project is aptly titled, considering what's going on in the world right now. Delirium is an abrupt change in the mind that causes mental confusion and emotional disruption. It makes it difficult to think, remember, sleep, pay attention, and more. Considering how we're all quarantined in our homes, it's not too much of a stretch to compare what's going on with all of us to Delirium. I mean, we're all going to start going a little stir crazy soon. The project itself is a pretty easy listen at 15 minutes long, and it provides a good variety of songs. Sadistik's music isn't for everyone, though. Like previously mentioned, his music tends to lean a bit darker than most, so many listeners may be turned off initially. However, I feel like in recent years, he's done a good job of selecting beats that have a little more widespread appeal, effectively lowering the barrier of entry. That doesn't mean he's changed his subject matter at all, though. He still continues his trend of dark lyricism. The project starts off with the track Ultra, which is introduced with an excerpt from the film The Night of the Living Dead. It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder. A widespread investigation reports from funeral homes, morgues, and the hospitals has concluded that the unburied dead are coming back to life and seeking human victims. It's hard for us here to be reporting this to you, but it does seem to be a fact. This track, and especially his introduction, does a good job of setting the tone for the album and letting the listener know what they're in for. Throughout the project, Sadistik delivers his verses in a rhythmic spitfire full of tongue twisters. Not quite double time, but pretty quick. For example, on Ultra, "Get injected with poison, not innocent, knotted in sin, nocturnal nights nodding to sense, nods with a pin, monster within, pockets are lint, not gonna win." That's one of the things I really like. He's one of the few rappers that if he's gonna go fast, he's gonna put a rhythm to it. And it actually did take me a little bit to get that down without messing it up. So that's probably one of the easier lines too. This project continues its theme of delirium with the plague, which has multiple references to the Black Plague. The chorus itself starts with mentioning life during those times. Basically, there's bodies everywhere, the water's contaminated, and there are mass graves. Everyone affected faces the same outcome. When the first verse starts, he begins to compare himself, or people in general, to the plague. Not everyone is spreading an actual disease, but they're infecting others with whatever they desire. The toxins that are instilled in brains can be thought of as brainwashing that people do to either make themselves more desirable or to trick other people into thinking that what they're doing is right. It also relates to what's happening right now because there's plenty of people who are just going outside with no regard to the shelter in place. Stay inside. I also enjoyed the second part of the song after the beat break. It comes back with another Black Plague reference in Ring Around the Rosie. And plus Sadistik's delivery on the second verse was just fun. Throughout all his projects, like I mentioned, Sadistik likes to incorporate horror elements, whether that be from horror movies or stuff that's actually occurred. An example of this is with the song Pet Sematary, which likely gets its name from the movie. As I haven't watched it, I can't really say how much of the song ties into what occurred in the movie, but it's still an enjoyable song. Another track where he mentions like real life events, though, is the last track, Aileen Wuornos. Aileen Wuornos was a serial killer who murdered 7 men in Florida between 1989 and 1990 under the claims that they had raped her and self-defense. She was ultimately executed in 2002. And there's a lot more to her story than that, so if you're interested, check out the film Monster. It's supposed to be a pretty good rundown of her life. Sadistik said that he wrote this song because no one ever said anything nice to her while she was alive. The song itself is beautiful, no matter your feelings on her as a person. With all that said, I thoroughly enjoyed this project. Like I mentioned before, Sadistik's music isn't for everyone. However, I feel like this is a good introduction to his music because it's fairly short and provides a little bit of everything that he does on his full albums. My favorite tracks from this EP are Ultra, The Plague, and Aileen Wuornos. As always, I'm looking forward to whatever comes next from Sadistik, as he hasn't disappointed yet in the many years I've been listening to him. And that's all I got for this review. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of this album if you listened to it, and also let us know what other albums you want us to review. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And that's all I got. Bye.